Hey everybody, welcome back to another Dark Avengers comic book review. We are doing comic books this week that were released on Wednesday, January 26, 2011. But before we get into this week's comic, we have a huge stack of, we have an update stack, and I have my two radical picks of this week. But first off, you guys know my panel, Joe and Amber. Amber has another huge stack of comics. This is what you get when you have a comic, an old comic store right up the block from you. And you guys know my cameraman Mike. Wait.
Hello.
Now go.
Don't you think the funny thing about an old comic store is finding series that I like that other people think are shit?
You bet.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so let's quit the introduction stuff and go right into the big stuff. First off, an update, a quickie update on my Spawn collection, because you guys know I'm trying to get those 199 issues that happened before 200. This one doesn't count. It's an image first. It's a reprint of Spawn #1. I just grabbed it because it was $1. Okay, now we're getting into the originals. Okay, we're going with Spawn. I've got Spawn #3. 3, 5, 8, 12, 13, 16, 27, 32, 82, 84, 190, I know that's a huge leap, 191, 196, and the comic that came right before 200, 199. Yeah. So that's a total of 14, if you want to include this. I don't include this comic. So 11 plus the 14, that's 25 down, 100 and somewhat still to go. That's a fun time.
Slowly but surely you're getting there.
Oh yeah. It's hard enough to find like #3 and #5. Those are all once again courtesy of your friendly neighborhood midtowncomics.com. That's why they have those lovely little stickers on it. 174 left. 174. Okay. Let's get into my two radical picks of the week. Catching you guys up on all the stuff that's out already in trade paperback form for Radical. Okay, The Last Days of American Crime. By the way, guys, if you are interested, because I've gotten a few messages, in buying any of these trade paperbacks or comics, if you don't buy on midtown.com, you can go, I'm posting the links in every video where I do my radical picks. You can go to radicalpublishing.com, and they have everything listed there. You can buy anything from the books to apparel. They have wallpapers. It's a really cool site. I would absolutely say check it out. Okay, let's get into this book. The Last Days of American Crime. Main characters are Graham and Shelby, and they're trying to pull off the biggest and one of the most final days, the final big American crimes. And Shelby has her boyfriend Kevin, who also wants to pull this crime off. What's happening is, in this story, all paper money is being destroyed and everything's going to go digital. Everybody's going to have like digital stuff. So there's these things, these boxes that they want to get before the banks boot them in, so that they can have unlimited money. This is a way to break the jackpot. And a whole bunch of other people want in on this. There's a lot going on in here. First off, this is 100% mature readers only, guys. 100%, because there's a lot in here that little kids should definitely not see. I'm not even going to show it on YouTube once again. We all know what YouTube is like, so we're going to forego any of that. The artwork is good. Definitely not one of the best artworks in out of all the Radical books I've seen. I'd say this book actually has my least favorite artwork. It's very, I don't want to say, it's choppy. It's choppy. I want to try to find a good example. I got to be careful. Once again, this is YouTube. It's choppy. It's not really that it's not my kind of artwork. Compared to the other comics, the artwork isn't exactly that. It just doesn't. The book, I would give a 3 out of 5 stars. It was a good story. It was a good read. The artwork was all right. It was passable. But all in all, if you're interested in seeing something with a lot of twists, a lot of turns, Last American Crime, I would definitely suggest this to you. I don't want to give away too much because I've gotten criticism from Time Bomb that I gave away too much at the end. So I would definitely say, if you're interested in this, check it out. It was a good read. Once again, the artwork could have been better. Now, this series I actually read. I read this book already twice. HotWire, Requiem For The Dead, Book 1. This is the first volume of HotWire. I really didn't think I'd be interested in this book. Turns out I really do like the book. It's great. The artwork, first of all, is amazing in this book. Hold on. This is the kind of artwork I like. This is more along the lines of like a paint art. Let's try to find a good picture for you guys. This is all about a forensics exorcist.
Definitely.
And what happened is, 80 years ago from this futuristic Earth, the dead stopped dying and they started coming back to life. And they call them, in this book, they don't call them ghosts, they call them blue lights. Here's some example of some nice artwork. So the blue lights are, I don't want to say haunting, but they're haunting the people because they basically want to live. So they have towers set up in all the ritzy areas, of course, that block all blue light from coming out. And anytime a blue light comes, it's kind of like, I don't want to say Ghostbusters because this is definitely not Ghostbusters, but HotWire is there and she has to stop the ghost. And she's like this forensics.
Exorcism.
Yeah, like an exorcist. She's an exorcist. She exorcises the ghost. And she teams up with a guy at first who hates her, whose name is Moby. And he hates her guts. He rather stick with the narcotic to the police work. He doesn't want anything to do with any paranormal stuff at all. Nothing blue light. He wants. But it ends up him and her team up, and there's this ghost bomb that's being told. That's what this book's about. There's a rumor between all the dead about a ghost bomb, so she has to find out about it and stop it. And her and Moby team up, and that's how this book is. And this book, the ghost bomb, it. Really big stuff. I mean, I don't want to once again give away too much, but it was awesome. The book was great, and it leaves off with a little bit of a cliffhanger. It leaves off with you with a door, and it's actually to, I believe, her apartment. It looks like, and then there's a whole bunch of a gallery, and there's also a backstory or a short story in the back. So. And then a lot of info on HotWire and like stuff like that. I would recommend this book 6 out of 5 stars. This book had great artwork, awesome story. If you like ghosts, if you like exorcism, if you like kind of like ghost busting, this is the book for you. Check this book out. Now, if you want something more current, I would suggest these 2 comics, with the third one I believe coming out next month. HotWire Deep Cut, #1. And #2, this takes place after book 1, where HotWire is, like, she goes into, I don't want to say hiding, but she hasn't been around for a while. It's been like 6 months, and Moby's still doing the blue light forensics. And he's like, you got to come back, we're waiting for you, you know, we need you, there's trouble. And there's a huge blue light causing trouble in the town. He actually causes a huge collision. All the cars in this futuristic time are, you want the book? Here, have the book. They're all planned so you can't get hit, you can't get run over. Also, you get a nice little backstory of before HotWire was HotWire, she was really like this, I don't know what you would say, like, she was a druggie. Let's just say she was a druggie, and her boyfriend, her dead boyfriend, tried to kill her, and then a blue light killed him, and towards the middle of the book, actually, it's in both of these books, you see a confrontation between her and him. It was pretty epic how it ended, though. I thought that was awesome, how she ended it. And there's also another guy called, oh god, I can't pronounce his name for the life of me. Hold on, he shows up in the middle of this book, and she actually says his name. Shoot, hold on. I want to get his name right. And Rance, I knew it. Commander Rance. He's basically taking over while she's been gone, and they want to just destroy the blue light, and they don't know what the hell they're doing. And everything basically comes to a head at the end of book 2, where the big blue light asks to be whacked over in the back to cause a huge explosion, because it turns out he could bring blue lights or some type of stuff back, and this is how it ends, leading into the next issue. I'm looking forward to seeing how this entire, how Deep Cuts comes to a conclusion. Once again, I can't give a full star rating yet because I still have to read book 3 or issue 3 when it comes out. But right now, this is a very awesome series. This is a hot series. Just like Legends, I would absolutely recommend HotWire. I would absolutely recommend Time Bomb. I would absolutely recommend the 2 HotWires, actually. I recommend the Requiem of the Dead, which is the first, and this is going to be the second volume. When this is done, you know Radical Publishing is going to make a second volume. But so far, my favorite books are HotWire, Legends, and Driver for the Dead, which is actually the last part's coming out next week, guys. So it will be definitely in next week's review. So look forward to that. I already have my hands on a copy, and I'm going to be reading it, and I will be reviewing it along with the last two back books I have at the moment for Radical. So you have that to look forward to next week. Once again, 4 out of 5 for the Last Days of American Crime. Really good story. Artwork could have been better. But all in all right for absolute mature readers. There is nudity in this. Keep this away from your kids, please. HotWire, the 2 books, absolutely check them out. Ghosts, you guys know me and Ghosts. I love like those kind of exorcism, kind of kick-ass, you know, always into action kind of books. Check it out. Okay, let's get into this week's worth of comic books. Once again, January 26th, 2011. Now, I got these comic books this morning, so I had to rush through these. So if I miss out on a point, guys, forgive me. Okay, big stuff happened here in the Traveler. Traveler number 3. You find out who the Traveler is, and it turns out it's Ronald. I can't pronounce his last name for the life of me. And the only reason I spoil that is because everybody knows by now that it's the Ronald in the future, and he's trying to prevent stuff that's going to go on in the present's future. And you get to meet the last of the... He actually was knocked out in the end of the last issue. Turns out he really wasn't knocked out. And he beats the last of the split second of the... oh, God. Why do I keep forgetting names? This is what happens when you don't get that much sleep, guys. Oh, yeah, I was right. The Split Second Men. And there's a huge epic fight between the Traveler and the Split Second Men. And actually, he has a confrontation with himself towards the beginning of this book. And you also find out that his friend is actually out to eliminate him before he becomes a Traveler. And he also eliminates Julia, which is his girlfriend's father. He kills her in this issue. This series is epic. I hope I didn't give too much away in this issue. I really think I did, but I would still say check it out because there's a lot of stuff that happens in the middle. There's an epic fight that goes on, and it leaves you with more questions actually at the end. At the very end, it leaves you with more questions than answers. So absolutely check this issue out. I would say it was great. Okay, we're going to move into Marvel really quick. An issue I'm dropping, and I'm not even going to waste my time discussing, X-Force number 4. Yep. We figured they were going to do it, and they did it. That's all I'm going to say. The end. It was, the art, it's just not keeping me, so, yeah. Moving into Ultimate Comics, well, they're calling it Ultimate now. Ultimate Spider-Man 152 continues the teenage kind of feel. Nothing really Spider-Man happens here. Iron Man comes to find Peter Parker, and he's not home, and Aunt May says, you can't do this because, you know, people don't know Pete's Spider-Man. You gotta somehow inconspicuously do it. He goes away. Gwen moves back in, but her and Pete aren't getting back together because she thinks him and Mary Jane are gonna get back together. So it's teenage drama going on throughout this entire issue. And then in the end, Tony Stark calls Pete, and he gets dressed up as Spider-Man and goes off. And Black Cat and Mysterio are talking about the Zodiac Key. That's about it.
No action at all.
No, not at all. Once they kill Ultimate Spider-Man, I think I'm going to drop the series. Now, this I got because Amber read it. So, Amber, would you mind just giving a quickie? X-23, number 5. This is all you.
Considering you said you didn't like X-23, you
were
dropping it because you couldn't afford it.
No, not that I couldn't afford it. I didn't like it.
I liked it.
So that's why I continued to buy it. Go ahead.
Okay, I read the one
I'm holding it. Go ahead.
preceding this one, before this, that I liked. For some reason he said he didn't. It was pretty much about her leaving and trying to find herself.
Because too many heroes have done that already.
Well, in this issue, Gambit, I think it is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Gambit is with X-23. And they go into the cave of Miss Sinister, the clone of Mr. Sinister. And she shapeshifts into X-23 when X-23 is exploring, and Gambit and her are alone. How it ends is, well, pretty much X-23 comes around and stabs Miss Sinister in the back, telling her to get away from Gambit. and Miss Sinister turns into Mr. Sinister.
A lot of people like Mr. Sinister.
To be honest, I can't wait for the next issue to find out what happens. It was a good issue. I really like it because it's something completely different from what I'm usually in or reading. So I'm going to continue the series. I think it's pretty cool.
Okay. And continuing along with the X-Men, Uncanny X-Men 532.
Why is every cover of this
I don't know.
Emma Frost?
I hate Emma Frost. I've said I hate Emma Frost. She doesn't belong on the team in my opinion. And speaking of Emma Frost, the only part she's in is with her boyfriend or her ex-boyfriend or whatever you would like to call him, Sebastian. And he basically knocks down Phantom X's ship and he goes after Emma Frost. That's how the issue ends. She turns to Diamond and he's ready to pound the shit out of her. But before that, it turns out the X-Men are still sick and they actually capture the humans that are getting injected with the X-Men or the mutant gene, turning them into mutants. And the Loeb says, oh, we can make a cure for you, but you have to allow us to exploit it. I don't like the Loeb, and I really don't know too much into these villains for the X-Men yet. But yeah, I would absolutely say check it out. It's interesting, but I'm being honest with you, the side stuff with Emma Frost, not that interesting. And it's really not fun seeing everybody. I don't know, maybe it's me. I'm craving an X-Men story, an old-fashioned X-Men story. I'm talking Xavier Institute, Professor Xavier leading the X-Men, not Scott Summers, okay? Leading the X-Men. I'm looking for that. And I'm tired of these little boxes. See here, this little box says, Allison Blair, Dazzler, one who dazzles, pop star. And then in a few boxes from there, they do it again. Here, where is it? No, it's not that one. I thought it was. Okay, forget it. We're going to go with this one then. Megan, Gwyn, Pixie. Wings, Pixie Dust, and everything like that. Then in the next box, it says it again. The same girl's name, and then it says Pixie, Group Teleporter. And then again it says Pixie, we mentioned the Wellish thing. Is there a reason why you had to mention who she was 3 times and add some snappy shit to it? That's annoying as shit. I really can't. It's dumb. Oh wait, that's the guy, right?
Pixie?
Yeah, they mentioned her name twice. Here, let's do it this way. There was another one with this guy over here. Okay, the Collective Man, Strength of 5, and then in the very next box, the Collective Man, Ego of 5 Men 2. Ha ha, ha ha. Funny shit. Really, ha ha. The artwork is very good. Oh, I wanted to show Wolverine. There was one epic picture of Wolverine I wanted to show. He's sick right now, so he can't show his claws. So this is he has 2 knives instead. You can't keep blades away from Wolverine. But yeah, no, not funny. Oh, you didn't see it?
No.
But I say, I want a classic X-Men story, okay? Enough of this stupid shit with Utopia. Enough of this stupid shit, because even in this issue over here, which we'll talk about in a second, X-Men number 7, they're still in Utopia. I want them back in the mansion. I want Xavier leading the team, because no offense, Scott Summers cannot do a good job. He's a good leader of the team, but he's not a good head leader complete. You need Charles Xavier leading the X-Men. I want a classic X-Men story where they're going up against Sabretooth, or they're going up against Mr. Sinister, or Apocalypse. This is stupid shit. They're sick in this, and they're going up against the Loeb to get a cure, and Sebastian Shaw and Emma Frost are having their fun. And then in this issue, they're back in New York, which is good. The artwork is terrible. The artwork's good, I said that already. The artwork in this is terrible, though. I gotta show some artwork to just show you guys what I'm talking about. The artwork is awful. Look at the misproportions of Colossus's arms. Come on. Really? You want me to believe that this is good artwork right now? This ain't good. Hold on, I'm gonna find one of Wolverine. I mean, come on. This isn't artwork you put in an X-Men book. I'm sorry. No way. This is not good. Anyway, so they're looking for a mutant, and it turns out to be not a mutant. They're in New York again, and they're looking for good media. Because Scott Summers wants to promote it said right here actually, Scott Summers wants to promote the X-Men to be heroes, because that's what we look like. That's what he says. Hold on. I want to keep a feel for good news feed. He wants good news feed. I want the world to love us. That's what he says, and he's showing a picture of Angel saving a girl who jumped off the bridge in the beginning of the issue. Okay, I'll bite, Scott. Where's Professor Xavier? And then in the end, Spider-Man shows up. Because they're going after the lizard, and he's like, if you want to get the lizard, you got to go through me. To be continued. Where's Professor Xavier? Where is he? Where'd he go? We missed the bald-headed guy. This is fucked up.
Before you leave X-Men, can I give you another one?
Wow. Oh, yes. One of Amber's. Let's look at a good X-Men book for 2 seconds. An oldie. Go ahead. Xavier Institute Alumni Yearbook. This is an oldie. Book. It's a briefie. It's a yearbook. They actually set it up like a yearbook, cool. And that's the old X-Men.
Okay. It gives you all this write out of who everybody is and you know how they're here.
And the team picture. That's the X-Men. See this picture right here, guys? This is the X-Men.
Now you can move your fingers.
This is not the X-Men, especially with this one right in the middle of them all.
I think my favorite thing about this, though, has to be this. You go through all the pictures and you don't see Emma Frost.
Because she wasn't an X-Men. Back then she was the White Queen. She was evil. Those are the official X-Men in my humble opinion. That's a book worth getting.
Pictures.
That's an absolute cool oldie buy.
But it's nice I saw it and I had to show it off.
Yes, that's a definite buy. I would definitely say if you can go and find some old books, this is X-Men. This is not X-Men right now. This is shitty artwork. Spider-Man's in it, so it could get better. But I'm being honest, the artwork.
Spider-Man, X-Men?
No, Spider-Man's teamed up with the X-Men before. It's fine, but
go back
it's about
to
time to get it's about time to get into some X-Men versus the Apocalypse, or unlike in X-Force where they just shot the kid because he was Kid Apocalypse. Marvel, you are falling off the ball with X-Men. Okay, let's get into something that came out 2 weeks ago, I believe, or a week ago. Invincible Iron Man 500. Yes, Chris had to buy Invincible Iron Man 500. The cover is sweet.
Yeah,
the cover is sweet. It jumps from a possible future where Mandarin is dominant, like he drains, he beat Tony Stark, in other words. But in the end, Tony Stark won anyway. And then it goes into the present where Tony Stark's talking about his plans. This is why I dropped Invincible Iron Man. I believe I bought 500.1 because it gives foreshadowing for the future. Maybe. Give it another shot. Maybe. Would I say get this? Is it worth the money? Not really. Not really. I don't really see any purpose or any.
You're a diehard Iron Man fan.
Yeah, if you're a diehard Iron Man fan. Well, actually, Spider-Man and Iron Man team up also. So yeah, it's if you have some extra money to throw around, it was fun seeing Iron Man and Spidey team up a bit. I love the artwork. I have to compliment the artwork. The artwork is beautiful, beautiful artwork, and they're promoting the .1s like crazy in all the issues. So I would say it's worth it. Sort of. And then they have a prologue to Iron Man 2.0, which is basically going to be a War Machine book. They just don't want to say it. Yeah, it's worth $5. I'd say yeah, it's worth it. It's a good read. I'm just warning you guys, if you don't like stories that go from the present into a possible future, don't buy it. Because it jumps around a lot. But I did like watching Iron Man and Spider-Man team up. That was cool. Now, the big issue, the whole reason I went back to the series, just to finish it off. There's one more issue after this. Fantastic Four 587. The final part to 3. This is what the comic looks like outside the bag. And you can zoom out for this, Mike. And this is the bag. I actually got 2. I have one that's still bagged. Well, not bagged. I had to open it up. I'll explain why in a minute. One in its bag, and this is what it looks like outside the bag. The reason I opened up the bag is because Marvel advertised that there were going to be limited amounts where inside the 4, it's going to be signed by Hickman. Unfortunately, I didn't get one. Maybe somebody, I'm sure a lot of you out there, 1 or 2 of you got the lucky sign. I didn't. So, by now, I'm going to pretend that all of you know, because it was announced heavily on CBR.com. But in case you didn't hear, I'm warning you now, skip through the rest of this until I put this comic down, because I'm about to put the huge spoiler of who dies in this issue out there. Okay, ready? Here we go. So, all 4 are in peril, and in the end, it turned out Johnny Storm was the one that died. Everybody voted it was going to be Johnny. Everybody was right. Johnny had the biggest connection in the team. He was the brother-in-law, the uncle, the brother, the best friend. So they killed
Bloody
him.
fucking hell, I hate you guys for killing Johnny Storm. I
He'll
really,
be
really, really
back.
do.
I was just gonna say.
I don't give a fuck
do
that
heroes
he's
and
gonna
villains
be
ever
back.
die?
I don't care. I'm just saying, fuck you for doing that.
The last stand of Johnny Storm is the last page. I'm not showing anything that happens in the middle. I'm not showing you guys anything that happened, but basically Johnny sacrificed himself so that Franklin and the Thing could make it back, and so they all can be saved.
You'll know of an epic return at some
Oh,
point.
of course. They didn't show him die. See, here's the thing. They didn't. You know what? I'm going to show one thing. They didn't actually show him die. He's not dead. I mean, if you really look, he's not dead yet. He's still alive. You don't see blood. You only see him knocked out. He's not dead yet.
He's still also in flames.
Yes. If he was dead, there would be no flame. Loophole? He's not dead. He's just trapped right now. In my opinion, Johnny Storm is still alive. He's just trapped in whatever zone this is. I don't think he's dead. I think somehow he's going to survive that onslaught, and he's going to be alive, and they just got to find that dimension, and they have to save him. He's not dead. This whole black bag bullshit, it's just temporary. There's no way Johnny Storm is dead. He can beat these people easily with one flame. Please. Johnny Storm is not dead. He's just gone for a while.
I know you're in denial, Chris, but apparently he is dead.
No, the
We all want to be in denial about
make
him
an epic
dying.
return.
I'm in denial. This is somebody who's been in the comic books for 2 months, and I've been into it for how many? For about 12 years, and she thinks she knows what she's talking about. The only Nile, you want to know what Nile? You want to know what Nile you're going to be in? You're going to be in the Nile. You keep telling me what I know and I don't know. Go ahead and do your books now in denial. I'll show you.
You are so in denial.
Give me HotWire and do your books. Come on.
Good, guys. Good.
Of course it's good. I told you you should have read it at the beginning of the week. It was sweet. This book is awesome. I'm actually going to go through it while you're doing that.
Okay, guys. I'm just going to do a quick rundown, show you guys what I got, and give you a briefie of what I'm reading through, okay? This way he can get back to his stack. I got 3 old versions of Lady Death.
That's not sick.
This one is one of my favorites because it's so shiny, it's all glittery, and
He's a blue
it's
light.
metallic!
Oh, blue light.
Two.
That's really amazing.
3.
Beautiful.
Realistic.
This one has a certificate.
I hope they make this a movie. Out of all the books, this one should
And
be
of course, you
sick.
guys know I love Buffy, so I'm showing you a couple. 1, 2.
The artwork
Then
is
of course I just
so
showed this
amazing.
one.
It's like realistic something.
These are perhaps my favorite comics of this week. Fathom. I'm
Mike,
not reviewing yet.
could I say one thing about Mike Turner?
Right
God rest his soul. Everybody knows he's passed away.
Yeah, may rest in peace.
I
Everybody's
haven't reviewed yet.
okay. You review and you could say it then too. I'm just saying, God rest him. He was an awesome artist. Did great work with Superman. He didn't do those.
And Mike's giving me the finger, so
He is? Really? Okay.
we'll be right back.
Yep, we'll be back next with 2 more independent companies. We got
And
one
my reviews.
Amber's Review, we got IDW, Image, and DC. See you in the next part.